All right, so for today's writing assignment, we are given the problem that says Thomas has to solve the difference between 18 and 6/10 and 2 and 1/10. All right, so first thing we need to do is we need to determine what our key word is, and that would be difference. And difference means the answer to a subtraction problem. So that means we are going to sit here and we have to subtract these two problems. Once we've done that work in our box here and we're on a scrap piece of paper, we are going to decide which way is the correct answer to be that was solved correctly, explaining what we did. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to take and put our 18 and then now that we have our 18, we want to make sure that we line up digits and our decimal point vertically. So underneath it, we're going to line them up. So I'm going to start off by putting my decimal. We also want to make sure that our 2 is underneath our 8. And then in the tens column, we have our 1 that is underneath the 6. Okay, so I'm going to draw my line over here. Place it. And then I'm going to put my subtraction sign. I'm going to drop the decimal down, drop it like it's hot. We're going to drop it down. And then once I've dropped my decimal down, I'm going to start my tenths column and I'm going to begin subtracting. So 6 minus 1 is 5. 8 minus 2 is 6. And then if you needed to, you could have added a 0 here for the placeholder. So you knew that you would do 1 minus 0, and 1 minus 0 is 1. So now looking at our answer, 16 and 5/10, we have to sit here and determine which one is correct. So it says way 1, it says first line up the digits and decimal points vertically by their places with a larger decimal number on top, which we did. So far way 1's correct. Where the tenth digit of 2 is under the 6 in 18.6, and the ones digit of 1 is under the 6 in 18.6, which the 2 is supposed to be underneath the 8, and the 1 is supposed to be underneath the 6 according to place value. Way 1 is incorrect just by that statement. This statement is the false statement. This is not the truth. Okay, so that is why, since they wouldn't have lined up their decimals and their digits correctly and by place value, that's why their answer is incorrect. That's why they got 17.4. Okay, so let's read way 2 just to make sure that way 2 is correct. It says first line up the digits and decimal points vertically by their places with a larger decimal number on top. Okay, larger decimal on top, lined them up, lined up my decimal, we're good to go. Where the 10th digit of 1 is under the 6, the 10th digit of the 1 is under the 6 in 18.6, and the 1's digit of 2 is under the 8 in 18.6, which is correct. The 1 in the 10th place is underneath the 6 in the 10th place. The 2 in the 1's place is the 8 in the 1's place of the top number. So far that's correct, and that's where way 1 messed up. Then drop your decimal point straight down in your answer place and begin on the tens place subtracting the digits on the right to the left, regrouping as needed. The answer is 16.5, which is correct. So then I would go to my slide and I would put my circle around way 2 to do, because it says drag the circle over the name of the correct explanation of how, not Heather, it should be Thomas should solve the problem. So we put Thomas, so way 2 is the way he should have solved it. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be glad to help you. And if not, take the quiz and hopefully you have a good weekend.